Joe Douglas spoke with the media before the season started and hinted at a big move coming. But when will it be? We discuss right here on another edition of Boy Green Daily. Buckle up.
Zoinks! It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor gosh darn Sikkema, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
Good morning, everybody. What's poppin'? My name is Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. Although, if you're watching this video, might as well call me Boy Orange, because today is the start on a Saturday, start of Labor Day weekend. It's September 2nd. It is the Syracuse football home opener. I'm up here in upstate New York. My family has come in, so we're going to go watch Syracuse open up a can of whoop ass on the Colgate Raiders, which should be a lot of fun. So, a start of the college football season officially for folks over here in Syracuse. And then, of course, I'll be able to slap all the Jets gear on, of course, for next week. So you guys might as well call me Boy Orange today. I'll be losing my gosh darn bananas inside the dome. Sorry for the technical difficulties for those, again, who are watching us. Normally we're live every morning at 7:30. Had to be a few minutes late because of technical difficulties. But for those who are listening to the podcast version, which is available wherever you find your podcasts by simply searching for Boy Green Daily, this has affected you by nothing. So this is probably just confusing to hear me talk about this. But anywho, let's get right into it. Joe Douglas spoke earlier this week, and it's an annual session with the media. It's almost a State of the Union, so to speak, but before the season. And then he'll do another one around the trade deadline, which, by the way, is October 31st at 4 o'clock. And why do I know that? Because that is the theme of today's program. Joe Douglas, during this press conference with the media, was asked about Aaron Rodgers giving his money back to the team. And a couple of things were interesting. He said, first off, that Aaron Rodgers did it for a reason. He didn't do it just for charitable reasons. He did it because, of course, to give the Jets an opportunity to reinforce the season and reinforce the belief that we can build this thing and do some magical stuff. So Aaron Rodgers did that for a reason. And Joe Douglas said the Jets will be ready, okay, when an opportunity presents itself. A lot of people would say, Mike Evans, that opportunity just presented itself, perhaps, because I've spoken to a lot of people around the situation. Jeremy Fowler, ESPN NFL Insider, joined us on our show on August 1st. Tampa Bay Trey, a.k.a. Trevor Sikkema, who is, of course, the lead draft analyst for Pro Football Focus. Shout out to him. You guys see him in the intro of every episode. And also, he's covered the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a long time, and he's a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I asked him and Jeremy Fowler, hey, Evans is the last year of his deal. Tom Brady ain't there anymore. Could he be moved? And Trevor Sikkema gave me the zero. No chance. And Jeremy Fowler didn't quite go that far, but he basically said, but I was just in, he saying this, I was just in Tampa Bay Buccaneers training camp. He wants to retire there, and he's so important in that community, blah, blah, blah. Like, he ain't going nowhere. However, the latest update yesterday that has sparked some Jets potential trade rumors is Mike Evans said, hey, man, like, we need to have a deal done by next Saturday, not today, a week from today. And if not, I'm focusing on the season. Mike Garafolo said that his cutoff for Saturday to focus on the season isn't just about now, it's forever. So if the Bucks can't come to an agreement with Mike Evans, according to Mike Garafolo, by next Saturday, then they're never going to come to an agreement, and he will be an unrestricted free agent next offseason. I'm all about jumping on the rental train and bringing in Mike Evans because obviously Corey Davis, baby, he's a guy that obviously surprisingly retired. So there's a void there in the receiving core. And Mike Evans brings size, 6'5". That's a one thing this receiving core, if you're going to pick at it, lacks outside of Allen Lazard is size. Corey Davis had that at 6'3". And obviously Mike Evans is massive, 6'5". So he'd bring that red zone action. He's a touchdown machine. What's that? Some of the ballpark are like 81, 82 touchdowns in his 9-year career, 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Like, he's a talented dude, and he could check off a lot of boxes. So, again, some new rumors have been sparked there, which I find kind of fascinating. Let's show up our poll today. And our poll today is this, okay? When will Joe Douglas make a move? Okay, we're going to throw this up here on the big board. Let me pop this up on the screen for you guys watching, but also I will explain to you guys what the poll today is for all our audio-only listeners. Jets GM Joe Douglas said they would be ready to strike a trade when the opportunity presents itself. Predict when NYJ will make a deal. The NFL trade deadline, for context, is on October 31st at 4 o'clock. Your three choices are this: before the season starts. So today we're recording this on September 2nd. The season starts on September 11th. So before that game. So you have someone in the ballpark, 9 days, okay? Or the rest of the month of September, okay? So you have three choices. It's either now, before the season. So again, from now, that's like 9-ish days. The rest of September, or the month of October. So the month of October presents you the most amount of time. There's 31 days in October, so you have the biggest window there, and that's closer to the trade deadline. And right now, month of October is leading the poll. We still got 13 hours left to vote, but 51.6% of the fans are leaning October. 30% of the fans are leaning the rest of September. Only 18% believe that some sort of move will happen before the season. And I probably, if I was voting on my own poll, would probably say, October is most likely. But I could even see September, man. You get an immediate, move that just kind of becomes available. That could be kind of interesting. It seems harder to believe before the season because if you're going to do it, then, outside of an opportunity presenting itself, like this Mike Evans saying, like, I think there has to be some kind of thing that pushes the snowball, wink to our snowball, who always watches our show, down the road here for that to have some sort of effect. So, again, I lean towards October being the big one, but I think there is a chance for September. Nonetheless, though, I think a move is coming. Based on listening and watching that Joe Douglas presser, I just have a weird inkling that he didn't make it sound like if an opportunity presented itself. He's like, when an opportunity presents itself, we'll be ready. And it was just interesting wording. Very, very interesting there from Joe Douglas. It just sounds like he's ready to strike, and they've obviously have the money to make a move happen. So why wouldn't you do it? That's my take from there. So, but very interesting. I do want to throw this one up. We'll also get some comments from the fans. So, guys, if you have questions, anything on the Jets, of course, feel free to throw them into the chat, and we'll answer those before we get out of here. Again, for those who don't know, Boy Green Daily is a daily show every single day live at 7:30, but it's only 20 minutes in length, a quick snack-sized bit for you to enjoy. I hope you guys are all enjoying your Labor Day weekends with your family. Again, I will be. After we get off, I'm immediately going to pregame for the Syracuse football game. That will be coming up at 4 o'clock, and we'll be doing some fun stuff before we get to the game, so I'm looking forward to that. So, guys, feel free to keep dropping in those questions. Here's another thing. I don't know if you guys saw this. Okay. I didn't write an article about it, but I wanted to save this for the Boy Green Daily Show. Stephen A. Smith, your favorite from First Take. Okay, I'll just lay out the scenario, I guess. Okay, so, and this is linked everywhere. Wherever you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter live, there is an article with every Boy Green Daily show. They go together. You can watch a show and also read the article at the same time, and it kind of gets you ready for the show, some of the topics we'll be talking about. And you'll see the clip I'm referencing, the social media clip of Stephen A. Smith from First Take this week. He openly questioned the Jets supporting cast, and he asked this: what do the Jets have without Aaron Rodgers? That's what Stephen A. Smith said. And thankfully, Kimberly Martin, who formerly covered the Jets and now is a national reporter and does all kinds of great work, she immediately called him out and said, "Stop it," several times. I rolled and she went after him. But Stephen A was like saying, Garrett Wilson is all right. Like he said, you can listen to the clip yourself. Long story short, he started talking about the other teams in the AFC. It's Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, Bill, Stephon Diggs, Mac Jones, he even named. Like, come on, man. Come on. What do the Jets have outside of Aaron Rodgers? I don't know. Top 5 defense? Best running back duo in the league? The offensive rookie of the year? A few to name off the top of my head, perhaps. A stable of tight ends, very capable. Like, Stephen A, what the hell, man? I mean, here's my thing. I normally feel bad for Stephen A, and I know a lot of people won't, but I'll just say it. Normally, I feel bad for Stephen A, and the reason is that ESPN spreads him too thin. It's like when you don't have enough butter to go on your toast, and you don't have quite enough where every bite is great because you only had a little bit of butter left in the bottom of the little package. So you're spreading it thin. And when you spread it thin, it's not as great all over the toast. ESPN spreads the butter very thin on Stephen A. Smith. They make him have an opinion on everything. So again, he has some tried and trues that he grew up on that he's good with, like basketball and boxing and a couple of those things. But they spread him out so thin that he has stupid things to say because he just doesn't have the knowledge. And that's tough. But at the end of the day, I mean, at the end of the day, you say it on a national TV show, I'm going to clip it, and people are going to come after you, pal. So I feel bad to a point, but you can't be saying stupid stuff. Like, you can question a lot of stuff about the Jets. You want to question the offensive line? Fine. That is a very fair thing to question, although I think the offensive line is really coming together ahead of week 1. We'll talk about that in a second. But to question the supporting cast is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. One of the stupidest things I've ever heard. The Jets have done everything in their power to surround Aaron Rodgers with as much as he wants. Again, it may not matter, of course, if the offensive line doesn't work out, but in my opinion, I think the offensive line is looking spectacular. So come on, Stephen A. What a stupid thing to say. Absolutely dumb. So a lot of people were trashing him yesterday after I shared that clip, and I appreciate what I'm able to do for everybody. The other thing I want to get into real quick before we get to everybody's questions is I wrote this late last night. So you guys may have seen this already because I'm not reporting it as news. Obviously, everyone knows. Von Miller remained on PUP, so he's out for the first 4 games of the season, including the Jets game. Like, duh, Paul, we already heard about that. That's true. But I wanted to dive into the numbers because of this. If you guys remember the season opener last year, the Buffalo Bills and the LA Rams, that was, by the way, Von Miller's first season with the Bills. He was dominant. 2 sacks. He was all over the place. He was disruptive. So he himself was crazy. But he being crazy had infectious energy to get to the rest of the team. Okay, so the other Bills pass rushers, which obviously aren't nearly as talented or good, they were like, whoa, look at Von Miller. And they like Michael Jordan, picking up the guys around him and lifting them up. Von Miller lifted the Bills guys up and they played above their means. Okay, they also, at the same time, took advantage because the Rams were trying to double and triple team Von Miller, and that didn't work. Okay, so he was still beating him then, but that means all the other guys had one-on-one matchups, okay, that they took advantage of. So in total, the Bills against the Rams in week 1 of last year had 7 total sacks. Von Miller had 2, and the rest of the unit had 5. It was a phenomenal performance. However, I wanted to use that to highlight something because when Von Miller has been on the field for the Buffalo Bills, okay, he has been dominant and his infectious energy has been dominant. But when he was off the field, the Buffalo Bills weren't the same. And I have the analytics to prove it, which was making me feel even better about the season opening matchup between the Jets and Bills. Here's this, okay? When Von Miller was on the field last year, the Buffalo Bills 4-man pass rush had a pressure percentage of 29.6%. That was 5th best in the league. When he wasn't on the field, the Bills had a 25.1% pressure rate, which was 22nd in the league. That is a difference of 17 spots in the NFL. Massive. Let me expand on that a little bit further. Again, we have all these details down below if you'd like to read more about it. With Vaughn, Buffalo on the season had the number 6 rated pressure percentage and the number 10 rated sack percentage in the league, both top 10 numbers. After he got hurt, Buffalo's team, including the playoffs, dropped to 19th in 19th in pressure percentage and 20th in sack percentage. What does that mean? My question is, can the Bills rush Aaron Rodgers without Von Miller? The numbers say no. And if they're going to try to overcompensate, like we saw in the Giants game, right? Wink Martindale throwing the kitchen sink, going cover 0 and try to throw some exotic blitz packages. Aaron Rodgers with the little bluebird cobra. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Throw it real quick to Garrett Wilson. Get that easy stuff. That will happen. Get that quick, easy stuff. So when I was diving into the numbers, I don't think people realize, because we haven't really gotten to Jets-Bills week yet. That doesn't officially kick off till next week. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit of taste before the weekend. This is massive. Absolutely massive, especially for a Jets offensive line that's still gelling. We finally know the 5 pieces, which are pretty good. You got Dwayne Brown at left tackle, Laken Tomlinson left guard, Connor McGovern at center, right guard Elijah Vera Tucker, and Mekhi Becton at right tackle. That is a really, really solid unit. I think there's a chance to be above average. Laken Tomlinson says best in the league. Hey, different strokes, maybe. I'd love that. Let's hope that happens. But this 5 is still gelling. They haven't been practicing together the entire offseason. We just found out who these starters are going to be like a week ago or something, maybe a week and a half. Okay, so this unit's still gelling. So it's certainly going to help not to have to face Von Miller. And it will also help to know that when Von Miller wasn't even on the field, the rest of the unit has been lackluster. They lost their defensive coordinator, Leslie Frazier. Sean McDermott is now taking over that responsibilities. Now everyone says, well, Sean McDermott's been really great as a defensive coordinator in the past. And I would say, yes, he has. But he also wasn't balancing being a head coach of an NFL football team at the same time. And he hasn't had a multi-year gap before of not calling plays to calling plays. So he may be a little rusty in that first game, I'd say. So a little rusty and no Von Miller, benefit Jets, I would say. And then we know how damn good the Jets defense is. I hope the Buffalo Bills offensive line is buckled their gosh darn chin strap, because the Jets are coming. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I'm going to put it out into the universe. I think I said it yesterday, and I will say it again. I believe the New York Jets for week 1 are going to beat the Buffalo Bills over the head with a rusty wrench. I believe the Jets are going to blow out the Bills. Now, I'm not saying the Bills are a terrible team. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the Jets week 1 at home, prime time, the energy. I think we're going to get the snowball rolling, and all of a sudden that's going to overwhelm the Buffalo Bills, just like it did the LA Rams in their own building last year for week 1. I think the Jets, again, are going to beat the Bills over the head with a rusty wrench, and they're going to blow the barn doors off them. That's what I believe is going to happen. So, guys, just be ready for that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's what I believe is going to happen. So I'm going to put it out to the universe. Maybe I look like a big dumb idiot. That's fine. I've done that before, but that's what I'm going to say. I think that is what transpires on Monday Night Football, and wouldn't that be juicy? Okay. Let's get a few questions in here. Who's going to get the first snap running back? Dalvin Cook. Although maybe to Jared B, the kind of wink to the crowd, it's Breece Hall, and then they yank him off the field. But I think it's going to be Dalvin Cook. I do think it's probably going to be, if I'm guessing the split, 70, within reason. Let's call it like 75% Dalvin Cook, 20% Breeze, and like 5% everybody else. Now, maybe Dalvin's a little lower. Maybe he's like 60 or 65, but Breeze is like 20. I think they're going to stick to whatever his number is. Let's see. And Rudy, to your point, it could very easily be Breeze, and the crowd goes, yeah, Breeze, baby. So, they could easily do that to, say, hey, he's healthy and shut up. So I could see that part. But Dalvin's going to get the bulk. Oh, my God. Snowball, that's a great question. I don't freaking know. Because I shared the clip from Panthers-Jets joint practice, and there's this one-on-one with Michael Clemens and this Panthers offensive lineman, right? I have no idea who the Panthers offensive lineman is, but Michael's there, and you can hear him snarling on the camera, like he's getting ready to go. And the Panthers guy, like, and they're like, ready. And then the Panthers offensive lineman jumps. He's like, I'm sorry. False start. Get back. And then Michael Clemens takes his lunch pail and beats him with it as he gets to the quarterback. Oh, yeah. The energy is going to, it's hard to describe because the Jets obviously have not been very good in a long time, obviously. But I'm telling you, man, I think the energy is going to be palpable. I think it's going to be wild. Absolutely. Can Josh Allen do something? Of course, I'm sure he can. He's been in the league a long time. But again, doing something and then actually being able to execute it are different things. But I really think they're going to overwhelm them. Rudy H here. Let's get a couple more in before we head out of here. FAU Owl representation. Totally agree with your take. My top question for the Jets is, do we have a number 2 to complement Garrett? That's a good question. We'll have to see if Lazard or is it a tight end that steps up to the table? Or I think a lot of running backs catching out of the backfield is going to be big. Also, our offensive line hold up this year. Of course, another big question. I like the depth of this unit, but I like the starters a lot. Then can Brees have a great bounce back here? We'll wait and see. Yeah, I think they're going to be super cautious for Brees. Again, I think they're going to work him, whatever is snap. I don't know what the number is. Obviously, Robert Sala did not tell me. But whether it's 10 snaps, 15 snaps, 20 snaps, some number, and then stick to it, yank him. Stick to it, yank him. I think they're going to be very judicious about that. Let me see if I missed anybody else. People are not hating. We ain't popping, baby. There you go, Johnny. Way to put that into the universe. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Boy Green Daily. Make sure you guys show your support wherever you're watching the video. And again, one way you guys can support the show, of course, is by reading the article every day. So, guys, if you watch the show either live or after the fact, please make sure you guys do that and check out the piece. It's only like a 60-second read. It's very light reading, but it helps support the show. Another way you can help support the show, and how about support your damn self? How about this? Our free Jets jersey giveaway contest time is freaking running out, baby. So make sure you join again, our Jets jersey giveaway contest. We have about 110 people. That is the latest number of Jet fans that have entered our friggin' contest. So tell your mama, your grandma, your neighbor, everybody about this Jets jersey giveaway contest. I want everyone to have an opportunity. Again, this is coming out of my own wallet, my own pocket. I want to give a lucky Jets fan a Jets jersey of their choice. So they will have an opportunity if you enter the contest. If you enter the contest, you have a chance. If you don't enter the contest, you have no chance. By the way, I will continue to reiterate, you have until Thursday, the game. Not our Jets game, Thursday, the NFL season kicking off, which is Lions-Chiefs. You need to get it in before then. I don't want to hear any whining. Paul, please, let me in. It's Friday. I missed it. No, you didn't miss it. This contest has been going on for friggin' months, pal. You have to get it in prior to Thursday. So please, people, make sure you get it in. You're running out of time. Take the few minutes it takes to make sure you join the gosh darn contest. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow with a very special guest, a national guest, joining us on the show tomorrow. Hope you guys can tune in for that at 7:30 live tomorrow morning. Take care, everybody. We'll see you.